the track is cleared, the damage is cleared, and the restart is about to unfold. Roll Harris will lead us back to the control line to get this one back underway. Final race of the weekend for the Auto 1 V8 Utes. Major crash to start on the opening lap. Peter Burnett, John Wood, both out of the race. Both drivers okay. Both cars, Cam McConville, though, junked.
Oh, that was a huge crash, Aaron. And I should say that a fantastic effort by the Darwin marshals to repair that wall and get the cars. There was a lot of debris there, so great job. So we can get some action again from the V8 Utes. Race 4 of 4 for the weekend. There's Chris Pither right round the outside. Kim James lost a spot out of that. Cedars is through.
Oh, more drama. Another one around out at turn 1. Jesse Dixon's off the road again. He has had a hell of a weekend, and that's Jeremy Gray, who was the car that was involved in that touch with Burnett before. But as you said, Cedars there. The FW1 Ford is through to second. Jane to third. Pither next. Stephen White. Reese McNally. That's Gary Baxter going the long way on Andrew Fisher, but Harris is just squeezing out a margin. He went from 16th to 1st in race 2 yesterday. It was a really good drive, and no one's had any answers for him this weekend.
Those reverse grid races too, Noons, you've got to be aggressive. If you just try and get through without damage, you get caught up. So you've got to be on the front foot and attacking, and that's what Roll Harris did. But this year he seems to be a lot smarter in the way he attacks, a lot less damage other than that. And Jesse is certainly a talent. Let's have a look at this. He went right down the inside, the big switchback, last of the late breakers, and you look at the angle he's on, that was never going to end well.
No good. Bang, and he gets another one for his troubles on the way through as Gray, who was locked up, but
would have no idea that he was coming.
No clue until he was in his left rear.
So I'd say Paul Stokel will be having a look at that one after this race.
Now Cedars is going after Harris here. If they finish where they are, Harris will win for the weekend. Oh, Jack Ellsgood's in deep. He's been way back in the pack. He's struggled this weekend, and in fact, he's off the road down at turn 1. He was 13th. That'll drop him a couple of spots, but Cedars is going on with this. He's actually going with Harris. Jane not too far away, and these two fought for the round win last year here. In fact, they actually were equal on points, but Harris won by virtue of a countback. So Cedars is pretty keen to try to grab another win here. He won the last round at Barbagallo in Perth.
He's certainly he's been the yardstick in this category for at least the last 3 years, if not more, and drives very well, David Cedars. These two guys fought out the championship at the last round at Homebush and look like it's going to continue throughout this season as well.
And who won that round at Homebush?
Well, thanks for mentioning that, Nudes. I like to bask in our old glory. That's old news now.
True,
It was nice to finish off the year with a win. Now, let's have a look. Ryle's gone to the inside, and he's got good power. He got good drive traction off the last turn. Cedars is trying to follow what can be a very, very small toe in a use.
And Cedars knows that he needs to hustle. He needs to get this done, because this will end up being a time-certain finish because of the delay from the safety car and the accident earlier on the first lap. So it's now or never, really. He needs to get on with it. And Kim James there, if he leaves the door open, Kimbo will march straight through as well. At the moment, those three will be the three on the podium, but Jane, third in this race, would be second for the weekend, because remember, they get points for 4 races plus qualifying in the Utes. So you need to do the job all weekend, not just in the races.
And there's a round about a minute to go now. Could be extended. So we'll just have to see how many more laps to run. So Cedars needs to get past. If he wants to get onto that middle step for the round result, he needs to find a way past Harris.
Back on board with Chris Walton, who is way back in the pack.
Yeah, he's really struggled, hasn't he, this weekend? He had quite bad bent steering in a previous race. He's a very aggressive driver and very fast, does a lot of karting.
And in front, Cam Wilson,
yeah, I was going to say, coincidentally.
And he's changed his number because it's 24 for the weekend, because they're going to do a 24-hour go-kart challenge in November. They're going for a Guinness World Record to cover the most ground in a kart over 24 hours. I'd hate to be on the night shift for that one.
Very physical effort too. So Kim James just loitering. Chris Pither has dragged himself up to the back of Jane. So this could be a good battle with 1 or 2 laps to go. We'll let you know as it comes through from race control.
you say. I'll provide. 1 lap after this one, Cam. So Cedars has got a lap and a half to get this done on Ryle Harris. And also, another one off. Ben Daly down at turn 1 off through the scenery.
And I was just going to say that watch Pither, because he's got nothing to lose other than bending Tony Longhurst Ute, but he's not in the championship this year. He's running in the Dunlop Series, and boy, can he hustle a Ute.
Former series champ in 2011, Chris Pither, the Kiwi, and driving for Brad Jones Racing in the Icebreak Coffee Commodore in the Dunlop Series, which has got a break. They're not back on the track until a couple of weeks' time up in Townsville for the next round of their development category. But these two Commodores are now fighting one another, and the Ford boys are fighting for the win just in front. But it looks like Harris has got enough.
Yeah, it's going to have to be done under brakes, but unfortunately Cedars just seems to lose a little bit mid-range there, and drops about a car length back, and in a Ute, that's too far back. It's nearly impossible to make a pass stick from more than a car length back. Very easy to lock the tyre and very hard to feel the front tyre under braking. And
that was the thing that you took a while, even though you came from V8 supercars and all your experience, that was the toughest thing for you to get your head around.
Oh, definitely. It's the braking in the cars, and, you know, it's a challenge. And Stephen White, another guy who's a very experienced racer, he's only just starting to get his head around it, and it does take a full season in these cars to just find that last little bit. And it's not by fluke that guys like Ryle, Cedars and Kim Jane that have been doing it for so long, you know, continue to dominate at the pointy end.
We're on the last lap, the run home in race 4 of the Auto 1 V8 Utes Series. And this has been a place that they've had great history at. Only Adelaide's hosted the Utes more times than any other track in Australia, so they are a real part of the diet here at the Triple Crown. But it's Ryle Harris who is on his way. Cedars, there is still one chance at the last corner, but you're going to have to use the elbows.
Be ambitious here.
Nah, no good. He needs Harris to make a mistake here, which he rarely makes these days. That's why he has the number 1 on the door of that tap-out Falcon. He'll get home and pick up 3 from 4 for the weekend and claim his second straight round win at Darwin and extend the lead in the 2013 series. Tell you what, he was rough around the edges a few years ago, but he's become the Wing Cup of Ute racing. He's tough to beat when he gets in front.
No doubt about it. He's virtually cleaned up his act, if you like, and extremely quick now, Ryle Harris. So well done. And he does like to party a little bit, as he's doing on the inlet there.
Doesn't mind it at all. Stephen White, 5th. Great weekend for him in the Dunlop Super Dealer Commodore. Elliot Barber next from Reece McNally. Then Craig Donnis. Nathan Pretty not quite at the point.
A little bit further back.
Yeah, expected him to be up there. He's the round winner from the first round, Adelaide. Let's have a look at the highlights. If you didn't see this at the beginning of the race, check this out. Major damage. Peter Burnett off the road. Followed soon by John Wood. Not the way to arrive on the scene, though.
No, and particularly off the back of the grid. I mean, this could have been a lot worse, mind you. So, you know, here's another angle. You can see Burnett. And major damage.
Look to the right of the Coates Hire sign. There goes the car rolling over. On board with Jesse Dixon. Dust, debris, carnage.
And
tap there.
Paul Stokel, the driving standards observer, and also James Taylor, race director. They'll be busy for an hour or two after this race.
You are learning how it works in race control, aren't you? You've got a busy afternoon, of course. The build-up will continue to the final V8 supercar race at the Sky City Triple Crown. More action from Hidden Valley when we come back.